So now you've, let's say, reached out, you had the outreach programme, you found the people that have got great skills, you bring them into your organisation. What do you do next to make them feel part of the organisation and part of the brand?
You talk to them.
Right.
You have the conversations. You find out what their particular needs are. You know, you look at belonging. How can you encourage people to feel part of your organisation? For example, if we went into one of those mosques and one of our Muslim colleagues actually joined you as an organisation, most managers wouldn't know how to support that Muslim colleague. Again, a lot of it is unconscious. It's not, so they probably won't ask the questions, but they may make assumptions, but also their colleagues may make assumptions because, let's say, that colleague that just joined you wanted to go for prayer on a Friday. Prayer is about 45 minutes. If there's a mosque locally, they can go to prayer within their lunch hour. It just means that the lunch hours change slightly, but it's still an hour. They still go away, they still make up the same time, but other colleagues unnaturally actually assume that they're getting more time to go in prayer. So there becomes resentment.
And
but if somebody had that conversation to explain things, it'd be so much easier.
So more questions, less assumptions.
Absolutely.
So with those questions, how do you create, or where are those conversations happening in your experience?
They're not happening enough. And that is a big part of this
So who helps
challenge.
them happen?
The role of creating an inclusive organisation has to come from the very top. And then the executive team, and it feeds down and feeds down and feeds down. But also the activities that are happening feed up. So it has to be two-way. Okay, unless we have a leadership that really understands the value of creating a diverse and inclusive organisation, most things fall apart. And what I mean by that is working with heads of D&I and coaching heads of diversity and inclusion, one thing that's really prominent is the fact that a lot of senior leaders see diversity and inclusion as a communications issue, a marketing issue. And they just think, well, we just need to raise awareness and everything will just come together naturally, rather than seeing it as a systemic challenge, a challenge to culture and a challenge to the existing culture and a challenge to existing policies, practices and procedures.